Hello everybody, it's Sara. Welcome back to my channel. Today we need to talk about Heartstopper. Heartstopper has only been out for a week and a day as I'm filming this video, and I am completely obsessed. My brain is fully rotten at this point. There are no thoughts up here. It's only Nick and Charlie on repeat, on loop, all day, every hour. I can't stop thinking about it. It's so good and so perfect. This video will contain absolutely no criticism because this show is amazing and perfect and spectacular, and I have nothing bad to say about it. So welcome to my Gush Festival. Take a seat, grab a drink. We are just going to squeal away into this video. So yeah, I have watched the show 3 times already, and I also reread the entirety of the graphic novel series because I do not want to consume any other content right now. It's the only thing that I want to watch and read, and I'm holding myself back from watching it a 4th time already because yeah, I'm mentally stable, obviously. In today's video, I'm going to be talking first of all about like my general thoughts, and I'm going to try to keep those spoiler free, but I can't promise anything. So if you haven't watched the show already, first of all, just exit, like go. I don't want you there. I want you to go and watch Heartstopper and then come back here so you can scream with me. But yeah, so I'm going to first talk about all of my general thoughts about the show, about the cast, everything, and then after that I want to go into my favorite scenes in details and like talk about why I love them so much, because I need to scream. I've been screaming about it to all of my friends, but I still need to get all of my feelings out because I have too many. So yeah. So before we begin, I just want to quickly give you some trigger warnings for Heartstopper in case you haven't watched it and you're like considering to go and watch it like I basically ordered you to do. And you know, Heartstopper is mainly a very happy, joyful show, as I will discuss, but there are still some serious topics that are talked about in the show. The first one that I want to talk about is anxiety and just mental health. There is a lot of discussion about this in the show. There is also a lot of bullying, so if that's something that could be triggering for you, just be aware of that. There is also sexual harassment as well as sexual assault in the form of unwanted kissing, and there are also a couple of hints to disordered eating. But yeah, mainly it is just so happy and pure and sweet, and I promise that you'll love it. Alright, so overall thoughts. The first thing that I wrote down on my little list is literally just perfect, which I've already established. This show is absolutely perfect. I think it is honestly probably the best book to TV adaptation that I've ever watched, and my favorite movie of all time is Pride and Prejudice, so like that says a lot. It's literally definitely in my top 3 favorite series of all time. It's just absolutely amazing. I feel like they took the graphic novels and they just literally put them on a screen. Like it's the same. It's exactly the same things. There were so many scenes that I saw like in the series that I remembered vividly from the graphic novels, and that is so amazing. I don't think that anybody else has ever made a better job adapting literally anything ever. I feel like it captures perfectly the spirit of the graphic novels. It captures the story and the characters just so well, and it's everything. It's so good, so perfect. I'm so happy that Alice Oseman was so involved in the process because it definitely shows, and I feel like every adaptation should be like that. I feel like the authors should always have their thing to say and they should always produce it, because honestly it was flawless. Like I've said, I have nothing bad to say about this show. It's just absolutely perfect. I also really loved all of the little nods to the graphic novels that they put in there with the little animations and the different like graphic novels like transition. I mean, if you watch the show you know what I mean. I think it's just so perfect. The little animations were just everything to me. I thought they were so cute. I never thought I would get emotional over foliage, but yet here we are, and honestly I want them tattooed somewhere on my body. I love them so much, and I thought that they just added something so cute and special to the show. So yeah, really love that. Okay, now we need to talk about the casting, because was there ever a better casting for anything, any movie, any TV show series ever made? I don't think so. I mean, excluding for me Freddie Carter and Amita Suman as Kaz and Inej, I have never seen characters being portrayed so well in any TV show adaptation in my entire freaking lifetime. I can't believe how lucky we are to have all of them. They all seem like such genuinely amazing people as well. I loved Kit Connor as Nick. I feel like he is definitely the new like internet's favorite boy of the week, of the month, of the year. I don't know. I'm so happy that he's getting all of the recognition that he deserves. He was so good. I love that we could see all of the emotions on his face. I loved Joe Locke as Charlie Spring. I feel like people don't talk about him enough. He is so perfect for this role, and the fact that he got it in like an open casting is insane. He is literally Charlie in real life, and I love him so much. I thought he was so good. I thought his and Kit's chemistry was absolutely like off the roof. It was perfect. They were just so good together as Nick and Charlie. I also love the entire gang. I think that Yaz, who plays Elle, was amazing, and I'm so happy that they cast her as Elle. I think it's so important. It's so wonderful. I love the guy who plays Tao. I'm sorry, I don't know like all of their names yet. I loved Isaac, who is a new character that Alice created for the show, and I'm so happy that he exists because Alice said that he is definitely like canonically Arrow Ace, and I love that. That makes me literally so happy. I just got chills like talking about it. And Alice also said that if they can make a season 2, they have like big Arrow Ace plans for that season 2. And I mean, I say if, I feel like at this point if they don't renew it, there's literally going to be a riot. So Netflix, we're all looking at you, we're all waiting, the clock is ticking. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love him so much. He was just like me in high school, like just being in the corner reading and being completely overwhelmed with everything that his friends were going through. And just also at the same time not really caring, not really understand what the big deal is. And yeah, I just love him. He is so great. I also really love Tara and Darcy, who are just so good. I love them so much. I love Darcy. She was like just as chaotic as she is in the graphic novels. She is just so funny and so great, and Tara was so sweet and I love her. And I also love that we got to see more of their friendship with Elle, which I thought added like so many more layers, and it was just so fun to see them become closer. And just all of the little relationships between all of these characters are what make the graphic novels and the story itself, and I feel like they did such a great job in the show at making it like with enough tension but also so much love and understanding, and it was just so good, and they were all just so amazing together, and it made me so happy because Heartstopper really is at its core a celebration of queer love, and not just only romantic love, also platonic love, and just how you have this like support system, this found family, which you all know I love, and just all of these characters just coming together and trusting one another with everything. It makes me so incredibly happy to see. I also love that we got to see so much more of the side characters in the show, because in the graphic novels we mainly follow Nick and Charlie. Like, we see the others but they're not as central to the plot as they were in the show, and I love that. I thought it was so good, and the entire cast is absolutely perfect. Oh my gosh, I also love Tori. Tori is definitely one of my favorite characters of the entire Osmond-verse. I love her so much, and the fact that I still haven't read Solitaire is honestly disgusting at this point. And it's because I've heard mixed reviews about it, but honestly I love Tori so much that I should just read it, which I honestly will do, because after watching this show I just adore her so much more, and I am back into my Heartstopper era, clearly, so it needs to happen. Going back to like the queer experience and what it means to grow up and being a teenager and also being queer, I love so much that we got to see the struggles of it, but also all of the support that you can get from your friends or your family or even your teachers, and just all of it was so well portrayed and so well done, and it was never like overly dramatic. It was never like so awful that like it's hard as a queer person to watch it, because you can definitely relate to all of the struggles, but also it's such a breath of fresh air when you're watching something and you see like those characters really going through it, but then also receiving the love and the affection and the support that they deserve. And it really is the kind of show that tells you like, this is the love that you deserve, this is the friendship that you deserve, and you deserve to be happy and to feel like yourself and be accepted for who you are. And I think that is definitely one of the reasons why this show is so special, and I'm not the first person to see it by any means. I feel like this is one of the things that I've heard the most people say about this show. It's just so happy and revolutionary in like this simple, joyful, defiant way, and that's why I just love it so much. It's so good. And then the last thing I want to say is that the music is absolutely fire. The soundtrack from beginning to end is perfect. I loved all of the songs. There are a couple of them that I've been listening to like on loop. I love them so much, and I just have them stuck in my head with this montage of Nick and Charlie basically. This has been my brain for the last week, so as you can imagine, I mean, it's a happy place. Alright, now let's talk about my favorite scenes in the series. I have one in particular that is definitely like up there, like god tier, as my favorite scene, and I feel like if you follow me on like Instagram or Twitter, you probably already know which one it is. I'm gonna keep that one for the end just because, you know, a little bit of suspense for all of you. But honestly, just all of the episodes are perfect, like I've already said 10,000 times, and I loved every single second of it. But these are my favorite scenes. Oh, I didn't mention that. I sobbed so many times. I mean, I feel like you probably already knew this because I'm a very emotional person, but yeah, I cried so many times. I also cackled like a crazy woman in my apartment all alone, just watching all of these little gays and their shenanigans. But yeah, I sobbed. Like, I feel like you need to know this. I cried a lot. Okay, favorite scenes, let's go. The first thing that I want to talk about is all of the hugs and all of the hands sequence. I love hands, okay? It's a thing. I love scenes with hands, and oh my gosh, did we get so many in this series. Not only like Nick, like, you know, trying to hold Charlie's hand for the first time and like the little fireworks, but also the drums sequence, which is definitely one of my favorite scenes. It's so good. And the hugs. Oh my gosh. As someone who really loves hugs, I feel like hugs are definitely like one of my love languages. I would literally give anything to be hugged by Nick Nelson. I feel like it would solve all of my problems. The way that he holds Charlie so tight is just, it's too much. Every single time it happens, I melt on the inside completely, and I implode at the same time. Moving on, we need to talk about the first kiss scene, because holy guacamole. I think the first time that I read the graphic novels, when I got to that scene, I literally started crying because of how happy it made me, and the show was kind of the same. I got just way too emotional. It's just so good. I love how everything just gets like super silent and they're just like talking, and you can feel the tension in the air, and it's just so palpable and so good. And you have like the little flowers because they're kind of like, you know, blooming together, and it's their relationship blooming, and oh my gosh, it's so good, and they acted it so well. And I have to say, it looked like a really nice kiss. I wish my first kiss was that great. It truly was not, but I'm happy for them. And oh my gosh, it was just so sweet and so cute, and once again I died. I also want to mention the iconic snow day scene, which is definitely one of my favorite scenes in the entire thing. It's so wonderful and so sweet and precious, and the song that plays during that scene is perfect for it, and I've been listening to it on repeat. It's one of those, and it's just so good, and every single time I listen to it, I just have like the sequence in my head and I'm just vibing. It's so cute. I'm gonna say so cute and perfect so many times in this video because that's just how I feel, and there are no other words, because words fail me to describe how much I love this show. Speaking of weather, we need to talk about the rain scene, because the first time that I watched the teaser trailer and at the end we just have like Charlie opening the door to Nick standing there completely soaking wet, I exploded. I literally could not handle it. The sounds that came out of my mouth were not remotely human. And it definitely had the same effect watching it the second time around and the third and the fourth. And it will probably just make me feel too many things every single time I watch it until the day I die. But yeah, that scene, so good, so good. And then with the little discussion that they have in Charlie's room afterwards and they share their second kiss, just amazing, spectacular, perfect, never done before, absolutely life-changing. I loved it so much. It was so good. Also, the parallels between Nick holding Charlie's face in that scene and then Charlie holding Nick's face at the end of episode 8, I still have not recovered. Yeah, I'm still going through it, and I think I will be going through it for the next couple of months at least. The next scene that I want to talk about is way more sad, but I still need to mention it because it really touched me so much, and it's that scene where Charlie is talking with Tori at the drums. First of all, such a well-acted scene. I feel like they both did so amazing, but it's also a scene that I could definitely like relate to a lot, and it really, yeah, it really made me sob. Like the connection between these two siblings, and when he says that like sometimes he feels like it would be better if he didn't exist, and we see this like flash of recognition in Tori's eyes. I lost it because I haven't read Solitaire, but I kind of know what it's about and what Tori goes through in this book, and the fact that she understood exactly what he was talking about just got me in a way that I was not expecting. Like, I was already destroyed because I hate to see Charlie being sad, but then that happened and I was just like, nope, this is going too far. So yeah, it's definitely like a darker moment in the series, but I also think it's so important, so I'm very, very happy that it was so well done. Next, I need to talk about the whole beach sequence, because that whole entire thing is so good. Like, from the moment they kiss in that corridor to the end of the show is just, it's such pure happiness and it's just so wonderful. And the photo booth, just, oh, it's so cute. And the Alice cameo, like when I saw that, I screamed. I had been waiting for a cameo because I love authors cameo, okay? It's just a thing. I absolutely adore them. They did that in Shadow and Bone with Leigh Bardugo, and it was one of my favorite scenes in the entire series because it's just like her having a moment with her character. It's just so meaningful, and as a reader it's also so meaningful. It's kind of like a little wink, almost like a little secret between you as the viewer and like the characters and the author. I don't know how to describe it, I just love it so much. And I had been waiting so long to see if Alice was going to do a little cameo in the series, and she finally did, and it was so good. And they said on Instagram that they were drawing them too, which is just such, it's such a full circle moment, which I just really, really appreciate. But yeah, the beach scene, absolutely wonderful. I think they once again did so well, and it's just such a happy, beautiful, perfect moment, and oh, I just absolutely adored it. It was so cute, and it's definitely like a comfort scene, I think. If I'm ever having like a very bad day, I can just rewatch it and be instantly happy, because you can't like not smile and be giddy with joy while watching this. I don't. If you can do this, I don't believe you, basically. Also, obviously, if we're talking about the beach scene, we need to talk about Nick's coming out scene, which was absolutely so wonderful to see. Also, like, Olivia Colman, I can't believe I still haven't mentioned this. Olivia Colman as Nick's mom is perfect. It's so iconic. But yeah, this scene with the two of them was just so beautiful and safe and warm, and I am so happy that we have this coming out scene now and that so many people are going to watch it, because I feel like so often we see these like very dramatic and sad or traumatizing coming out scenes, and I'm so happy that for once it's none of these things. It's just warm and, you know, a little bit nerve-wracking, but also just like so well received, and it's just loving and absolutely like sweet and pure. I'm so happy that we have this scene, because I know that it will mean a lot to a lot of people, and it already does. I mean, I've seen like so many people talking about it and how much it meant to them, and I think that is absolutely wonderful. And then finally, the last scene that I want to talk about, which is definitely like my favorite scene of the entire show, and I think it's probably because it totally took me by surprise, because it's not a scene that's in the graphic novels, it's a scene that they created only for the show. And it's when Nick sees Tara and Darcy at Harry's party, and they're dancing and they're kissing and they look like so happy, and you see this whole like realization on his face that this can be what he has too, and he can be as happy as they are and as defiant and joyful, and it's just thinking about it honestly makes me want to cry, and I don't want to cry. It's just such a significant moment, and I love how they really made it into a thing with like the music that goes into this like huge crescendo, and then you have all of the rainbow lights and the slow motion, and you see on Nick's face like this huge like moment in his life where he finally realizes that like he can be who he is, and that's okay. And like it's just, it really means a lot to me, and it was just so emotional to watch. And yeah, I can't get enough of it. Honestly, I've watched it like so many times, and every single time that I see it, I just start crying because of how well done it is and how significant, and it truly captures the heart of the graphic novels and of the show. And I think that is such an important moment, not only for Nick as a character, but also for the viewers, because we get to see what it does not only to us but also to a character like Nick, to see this joyful and defiant and happy queer representation. And I think that that's why it's my favorite moment. Like, all of it is spectacular and amazing, but this scene has my entire heart. Alright, here we are. This is everything that I had on my little list. As I've said so many times, this is definitely one of my new favorite things. I just love Heartstopper, and it was just so wonderful to watch and to experience. I feel like I've talked long enough. Let me know down in the comments if you've watched Heartstopper. If you enjoyed it, please tell me all about your favorite scenes, all about your favorite characters. Obviously, I'm obsessed and I need more people to be obsessed with. So like, give me everything. Give me all of your thoughts. Tell me all of your favorite lines. Let's just all stay into our Heartstopper brain rot together, because there are honestly no better places to be. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out any of my new videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!